Hi, everybody. Time for the digital marketing news this week. Google's pushing back against zero-click claims. Facebook predicts challenges for advertisers, and WordPress has some major issues. Let's go ahead and dive into the digital marketing news for this week. We have all of this and more. First thing is Instagram soon going to let users save stories as drafts. So stories on Instagram, now you'll be able to save those as drafts, which is fantastic because you have to create so many stories all the time, and it's very hard to schedule them out. So this is going to be something that will help a lot of people. Next thing, Google shared some SEO best practices for e-commerce sites that I thought were really good. Here they are. There's 3 of them. First, use structured data. That's how you make sure that Google learns about all of your product details. Next, provide product info through Merchant Center. Make sure you keep your feed updated. And then next, content marketing. I thought this was kind of interesting. So update product detail pages with keyword-rich info. I've done e-commerce SEO for a really long time. Refreshing great content on category and product pages in the correct way always gets you a nice lift. Next thing, Google came out and they disputed all of these zero-click claims. There's been a little bit of a vibration through the SEO community, this idea that we aren't getting as many clicks as we used to. A lot of results have 0 clicks, right? So a report came out by SparkToro that said that only 35% of search results get a click. And that disappointed a lot of people, right? And that the number has been getting worse for search marketers for a while. But what happened is that Google said the research has a problem. For example, SparkToro said that fewer clicks are going to websites, but Google claims that it is search engines have increased visibility to websites every year. So they're increasing visibility to websites, but are they saying that they're getting more clicks or less clicks? Actually, in the statement, if you hear what they just said, they're saying they're increasing visibility, but they may actually be not saying that they're getting more clicks. And then an attorney, a web marketing consultant, actually just a web marketing consultant, not an attorney, came out and made that same observation that I just made. Anyways, SEO is doing fine. It's still incredibly valuable. Can we just all say SEO is great and move on and quit trying to have arguments over all of these different subtleties? I mean, it's one of the most important parts of the marketing mix. Next thing, free SEO tool provides insights from 60 million queries. So it's kind of interesting little tool by Local SEO Guide. It offers insights on 10 types of Google search features, including knowledge panels, local packs, ads, job postings, and more. So go ahead and check that out. Next thing, Facebook is adding more ways for you to make money. If you were watching last week, I went over how you can now make money by allowing people to run ads inside of your 1-minute videos, your short form videos. Now this week, they're saying that they're going to expand this eligibility. So, if you want to run in-stream ads, you'll need to show 600,000 total minutes viewed in the past 60 days. You're also required to have 5 or more active video uploads. But Facebook now looks at short videos when determining eligibility too. These things are just basically criteria if you want to make money from people running ads on your videos. But another thing, Facebook is also allowing viewers to make contributions in the form of stars during a live stream. And you'll earn a share of revenue based off of how many stars you receive. It's really interesting. It's like, Spaces, right? Which is Twitter's competitor to Clubhouse, is going to have a tip jar, and then YouTube has this ability for you to give tips and to pay during live streams. So live streaming has turned into this like crazy like throwing money at the people who are doing the live streams, and I don't know, I guess it's kind of cool. It's a really interesting way to monetize. Okay, 2 things. WordPress Gutenberg is causing fatal errors, and then the Elementor plugin, which creates layouts. I actually have a couple websites on this, is having major issues because it's being hacked. So WordPress, they're always getting that 1-2 punch, So if you're on Gutenberg, you better check things out. And then also if you're on Elementor, you better check it out. Go in there and update to the latest version, and that should take care of it. Next thing, Google says don't use 502 status codes. Instead, you should use 503. Little education for you. 503 is service unavailable, and then a 502 means bad gateway. And they are not the same things, but they're recommending that you stick with the 503. Next thing, Google says ignore bounce rate for SEO purposes. So for a lot of years, people speculated that bounce rate might have been something that you should look at for SEO. Google says that you should ignore it, which I think is kind of interesting. So he said Google doesn't use that for SEO. So if you're focused on SEO, you can ignore that. But don't you want to have good web metrics, a low bounce rate? instead of a high bounce rate. Pop quiz for you. What's a good bounce rate and what's a average bounce rate for a news site? Do you know the answer to that? What's a good bounce rate, average bounce rate for a landing page? Different bounce rates apply to different types of content online. News sites, from what I've seen, 80%, something like that. Somewhere between 60 and 90, depending on how good it is and how niche the content is. Next thing, Google is testing a not helpful button in local reviews. So looks like Google's borrowing a page from Amazon's playbook, and they're testing this not helpful button, and it's going to be right next to a local review, and they can say that your review is not helpful. Next thing, Facebook's doing another webinar about the impact of this iOS 14 update, right? This is a big deal. We've got the cookieless web that's coming out, huge deal for Google. And then for Facebook, one of the things that's big outside of that, there's this impact of iOS on Facebook. So Facebook wants their advertisers to know that there will be ramifications when Apple rolls out iOS 14 later this year. And they are holding a webinar on April 7th to explain what's going on. If you want to go ahead and check that out, you can get the link. I'll put it below. Next thing, Facebook is working on a children's version of Instagram. So if you really, really wanted your kids to be on Instagram, but you didn't think the content was great, now they will be able to be. That's interesting. You know, I have kids, and I don't know. When's the right time for a kid to be on Instagram? I don't think that's I'll let you make up your own decision on that. I won't comment on any other types of parenting. Anyways, that's it for the digital marketing news this week. I hope you are doing fantastic. Hope you had a great week. I'm really excited. Bunch of cool stuff coming up. We're going to be doing this great webinar on email marketing. We got some new industry studies coming out. Also, check out our Marketer of the Week awards that we've been running. That has been a ton of fun, just to champion all the great work that's going on in marketing kind of around the world, really, every single week. So check that out on Ignite. Have a great one. Like, comment, subscribe. I love chatting with you online. I'll see you next time. Bye.